When playing hypercarry junglers like Kindred or Bel'Veth, what are some of the common things to keep in mind as compared to junglers like Vi, Jarvan, or Volibear? Is it similar to an AD carry mindset? Basically, you want to be efficient. What does this mean? This means that you leave your jungle when it doesn't take you... You do not cross-map to gank something, so you will not leave your jungle unless it makes sense for you. By the way, even when I play those bruiser junglers, I never do this. I never just fucking go from Gromp and then skip all my camps to go do something bot lane. I will path in a way where I'm making sure that I am getting all the camps on one side before I leave to the other side, and then if I want to skip these camps, that's fine, because I can come back to them and still maintain a certain amount of efficiency. And that's what it's all about, efficiency. So... as Bel'Veth, you can be really farmed, just making sure that you're getting all the camps, and then what you need to understand is you want to limit the amount of moves you make. What is an action in League of Legends? There is one mandatory action one must take. Four roles have one thing in common. What is it? What does top lane, mid, AD, and jungle have in common? Farm. That's right. So we can determine that making an action is not farming, because this is something you must do all the time. So I define an action as I am not farming. Okay? Just clarifying my definition of an action. So because you must farm, making an action is the act of stopping farming and going to do something. What is something? That depends. Are we getting vision? Something is usually defined by taking a certain amount of space. Let's start there. So something, in this case, is I'm going to take space, right? So an action is defined as taking space. And when the champion that when I'm taking a space and the enemy champion retains his position within the space I'm trying to take, I will fight him. A gank. When you walk into a lane and gank someone, you're trying to take the space from them. And when they stay in that space, you are killing them. That is the idea of a gank. League of Legends, like chess, is a game that is based on the amount of space one takes. If you watch competitive play, you will notice that a team that has this much control over the map is winning because they have more space. Right? My man is so twitchy, that's true. I always jump around when I talk. I don't know why. Anyway, same thing like this, right? The more space you have, the more you're winning. That's just generally how the game works, right? Why? Because the amount of time it takes to do the farming part gets reduced because you can farm on their side faster, and then you have more time to do an action. In other words, take space, right? So, that can be vision, that can be a gank and kill someone, that can be anything. So when you're a jungler that is farming, why did I mention all this? When you're a jungler that's farming like Kindred or Bel'Veth, sorry, that's a B2, what the hell? When you're Kindred or Bel'Veth, thank you, okay? You want to limit the amount of actions you take that take space, and you want to minimize those and time those well so that you do not lose efficiency on farming. That's it. So as Volibear, you might, consider you cleared your first 3 camps. Right? Say you do this path, right? You do blue into Gromp, into wolves, into red. You've done 4 camps, and then you go gank. And then you notice, oh, there's another gank opportunity. You take another gank opportunity. As a farming jungler, not only would you reconsider doing red, you would rather do raptors, because that's, first of all, more efficient than red, because you want to reset this camp and get more farm. You get more experience, and I believe a little bit more gold from camps you reset. And then gank, but then you do not want to reconsider ganking again. Ideally. Sometimes you must, but ideally. And then you're going to go farm. Awesome! So, let's go back to square one, guys. We are playing Bel'Veth. The first thing one wants to consider is efficiency. How to be efficient is to reset your camps, right? As a jungler, the most efficient way to farm is to reset the Gromp, the Wolves, the Raptors, and the Krugs. Why do you do this? Because they level up when they die and respawn. They give you more gold and experience next time you kill them. For gold, I don't know how the scaling works, but for experience, I'm certain that you gain more experience when they level up. For gold, I think it's like certain timing breakpoints in the game or something, I don't know. Either way, just reset them. It's more efficient. So if you're playing Kindred or Bel'Veth and you want to do a react to a gank, right? So for example, Jarvan and Volibear might want to do, they might want to do a buff into Gromp, into Wolves, into Red, because they want to be ready to gank at full power. You, as Kindred or Bel'Veth, want to sacrifice power to react to maintain a higher efficiency. Now, when I play Jarvan and Volibear, I always do this because I value farming and scaling more, but I'm just saying why people take Red instead of these camps. And then I would do this and then this, or even better, if you want to be really specific, you actually skip the red and you go golems into red, and that's the most efficient. But hey. Now you finished your camps, and after 3 camps, you react, that's fine. Limit the action, okay? Limit the act of taking space. limit it to once per turn, once per full clear, basically, or maximum twice. Depends on how long. Why do I say once? Is because obviously if you're lower MMR, you're probably gonna oink around a lot, and you're gonna hesitate, and you're gonna look, and then back off, and then maybe come again, or whatever. I want none of that shit. Okay, I want it to be clear. You come, you do your action, you leave. That's it. That's the difference. Volibear wants to come here, and then if there's some action bot, he wants to go back bot, and wants to look bot, and then, oh, there's action again mid, he'll go back, and he's happy. He's happy to run back and forth, because he doesn't scale that well with gold. Kindred and Belveth, no. They want to do an action and then stop. They want to go back to clearing, and then you do finish Krugs, and then you might look quickly, but again, before the spawns, I want to be back here and farm it, right? So again, you've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, 2 minutes and 15 seconds after killing a camp to come back to it. So in other words, let's say, you know, we kill Gromp, and then we kill Wolves, and this took us, this active is 20 seconds, and it took us 20 seconds. I'm going to just put the average time of 20 seconds per camp. I know it's different, and I know it changes for champions. I'm using an arbitrary time just to put the concept out there, guys. Okay, please don't make it, you know, don't complicate it, right? 20 seconds for red, 20 seconds for golems. In other words, 4 times 20 is 420. 420. No, it's 80 seconds, right? So in other words, how much time do we have left before we must come back? Quick maths. Roughly, I mean, honestly, my brain is like fried right now. I've been coaching for so long, I'm actually struggling to come to the conclusion here. It's like 55 seconds, I believe. Somewhere there, right? 55 seconds until I need to get back. Thank you. All right. Honestly, my brain's fried, so it took me a while. Anyway, 55 seconds to do something and then have to go back. And if you include the crab and that takes you 15, you've got 40 seconds before you need to get back and farm the Gromp. And here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. Okay? This is what all of you little shitters playing these champions don't consider. It takes you time to walk from here to here, okay? So if you take an action after your Krabby that takes anything longer than 15 seconds, you're gonna be late. 80, I know. That's true. That is why you are inefficient and you're not farming enough, because you motherfuckers think that you can TP, that you think your recall button lands you at the Gromp with items. It doesn't. You make an action and then you make another one, and I'm going to show you what everyone does. They're like, oh, I did the crab and I'm going to gank bot, and then I'm going to go mid and gank mid, and then all of a sudden, like, the fucking Gromp's back up, and then what do you do? Oh, my Gromp's back up, and then you go and farm it, and then you're inefficient. Why are you inefficient? Why are you inefficient? You're at the Gromp when it spawned. Why are you inefficient compared to someone that bases here? If I base here and do this, why is this more efficient for farming than someone that does bot gank, mid gank, and then crosses into Gromp? Why is it inefficient, people? Spend your gold, item. Congratulations! If I buy a fucking pickaxe, this is gonna die faster, and this is gonna die faster, and this is gonna die faster, and this is gonna die faster on my next clear. In other words, I'm more efficient. Because the faster it dies, the faster it respawns, in terms of the length of the game time. Gold not spent is inefficiency, but why? Right? But why? Why is that inefficient? The reason is the respawn timer getting reduced, your clear speed getting increased. In other words, you kill faster. That is improving your efficiency. You're gathering resources more quickly. Because when you kill them faster, you respawn them faster, which means that you have more camps within the same time frame, right? So in a 10-minute game, right, assuming camps take 2:15 to spawn, you would say, oh, the maximum is 4 spawns, right? Wrong! Because, actually, maybe over 10 minutes it might still be, I'm not sure. But the idea is within 10 minutes that might be true, maybe within 14, actually, the better is the more minutes I take, within 10 that might be true. But within 20 minutes, what happens is scaling champions like Belveth and Kindred start killing their camps so fast compared to Volibear that can't really scale his damage to camps all that well, that in 20 minutes, Volibear might get, you know, a maximum of, you know, 8 respawns, right? Or, I mean, okay, like, again, you get the maths, right? However, because Belveth and Kindred kill the camp so fast, they get 10 respawns, right? And again, I'm just giving you the idea. I know the maths are off, but just the thought of the fact that in the same amount of time frame, you are getting 1 or 2 more spawns. That's a really big deal. Why? How much gold is this? 1 camp? 2 camp? Count up all the gold of these respawning camps and tell me how much gold it is. Roughly. Okay? Roughly. About 400. Maybe more, 350. It's 1 kill. That is why. The game would have been a fest because Volley ganked bot and mid and they won their lanes. Yeah, and this is where you're wrong because I can also influence. I'm just limiting my influence and I'm using it very efficiently. I literally explained to you that you can make an action, you just need to be smart about it, okay? You are making an action, you're just not like, and then, no. You're making an action and you're stopping. The difference between me and the other LEC junglers and why people thought I was very good is because I was very, very clear. So when I came in and did something, I was very fucking proactive and very fucking decisive because I said, I'm coming here to do something. So you guys I'm gonna do some shit, okay? And then I left. Who the fuck is Bwipo? That's it, okay? I jungled for a split, okay? I get it. And I did things, but I farmed, okay? How do you know I farmed? Oh. I always farmed. I was farming. Majority of my games I was farming. I loved farming. Tasty jungle creeps. That was a banger. Watchers that game versus Wonder? Yeah, I mean, I did not farm much that game, that's true. Anyway, there you go. You still have to play the game. You still have to leave your jungle. You just have to limit the amount of timers you take, and when you take a timer, be decisive, and then get the fuck out. That's the difference between Kindred and Volibear. Volibear wants to stick around, help his laners, blah, blah, blah. The point is sometimes Volibear attacks my bot lane, yeah? And I match his movement. And sometimes me just taking, helping them secure the wave and then give them a recall is good enough. This is why, yeah, I'm not going to go further than that because it gets really complicated and every role gets involved. And the point is you just have to make a move and keep your laners safe. Try explaining this to your laners when they say FF. So why can I reach challenger jungling and you can't? When I explained to you, I do this every single game. The account is gone because it's a Riot account, but I used to play on Chongus. I did this every single game. I was never inefficient. Never in my solo queue games did I did inefficient pathing on champions like Graves, etc. I did do it on champions that can be inefficient, but I never did it, and yet my win rate was positive. Why? Mute all? I mean, sure, that's the first step. Why? Because I understood how the game works.